Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I don't know about you, Moira, but I like that music starts. I'm like, woo! I'm just like all over the place with that. Welcome, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. I will introduce Moira in a minute. You know how we roll. We stall for 3 minutes while everybody gets in here, and that gives me the opportunity and Moira's opportunity to say hello to everybody. So here we go. Hi, Cindy and Michelle and Joy and Rhonda. Hello, Rhonda. Michelle, my belle. So good to see you. My lady creates so much more. Love it. Priscilla. You've got Moira's new website and info. Condi, hello. Joy, hello. Another look, it's Joy and Joy. Joy to the joy. Hello. I think Michelle is bringing popcorn. Okay. Gina, hello. Hello, Gina. Alicia, hello. We are doing well. Thank you for being here. Rody, Rudy, Rada, Rada, Rothy, Ruthie, Ruthie, Rara. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Chris, hello, hello, hello. Sharon, Wisdom. So good to see you, my friend. So thank you. So grateful that you're here. I just pressed the button. Wait, highlighted everybody. Okay. Woo. Cheryl, hello. Connie, hello. Connie, good to see you. Cheryl, Mamala, good to see you. Michelle, hello. Janelle, hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. Andrea. Hi, Andrea. Desiree. And Kylie says, hello, Moira. Julie. Doesn't it feel like Romper Bomber Stomper Boo?
A little bit.
Dude. Holly, hello. Nancy and Michelle. G, good to see you. I have website and Facebook. Yes, good to see you, Moira. Excellent. Andrea, Joy, Lynn, hey. Emmy Scamahorn, Emmy all the way from Emmy time, which is mountain time. Denise, good to see you. Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. I have the honor and privilege. I am not a stranger to Moira. I am Moira. I am strange to Moira, but I'm not a stranger to Moira.
Very always.
Always, thank you. I had the pleasure of we just talked about this back in 2002. I signed up for massage school, and Moira was one of my clinic instructors back in the day. And I was doing my apprenticeship program in shamanic study, and I'm like, "Whoa, where'd you go, Moira? She's coming back. I promise she's coming back." I could just hear her going, "Ah, shit." So Sarah, thank you all the way from the UK. Hey, Lisa. Nita, good to see you. Saturday night is couples night when Ken gets home. I love that. That's awesome. We are moving, guys, just so you know, waiting for Moira to come back. We are moving from Saturday nights starting in April to Wednesday nights. Wednesday nights. People are going to be, doing what they're doing. And I just love you, Pamela. Pamela's like, Moira had enough of us already. That was good. All right, welcome back.
I've not had enough. Not yet. Sorry, I'll push the wrong button.
See? Everybody's like, oh my God, I stop pressing buttons.
No, that was full on me. I take full responsibility.
You should see us during an apprenticeship program. Anyway, so Moira and I, she was my clinic instructor for a short time. And I was doing my apprenticeship program in shamanic studies. And I'm like, Moira, it's really fun. You should do this. You have beautiful energy around you. Guys, truly, truly, Moira, to me, many of you know, soul family. I have to say that Moira is definitely a soul sister. We just blend really well, and we combine our talents when we do retreats and apprenticeship programs. And, I learned so much from her, and it is an honor. I remember when we did the apprenticeship program, like, would you please just do this with me? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, here, you can do this part. And she's like, well, and Moira was so detailed, like, okay, this, and that. I'm like, you got to go with the flow, sister. Go with the flow. And she's like, oh, but you have ran with it. And it shows in the beauty of your work. It shows your caring and compassion for people. And it is just, I'm so grateful to have you on this journey with me. So thank you. Cheryl says, no more buttons.
No,
No more buttons.
hands
Uh,
up.
hello, Sue and Joy and Karen. Thank you guys for being here. So, Moira, as you know, guys, is from Chicago. So, whoop whoop to Chicagoans. And how did you get started on? How did you want to go to massage school? Let's go from there. Yeah, we'll go way back.
Going right way back there.
Yes.
My dad got sick when I was in college. He had cancer, and it was liver cancer. And with liver cancer, you get cirrhosis, and it makes your skin really tender and painful. And it was a really interesting experience because I did not grow up in a touchy-feely household, Irish, German, no so huggy-feely. But when my dad was sick, it had a profound effect on me because I was the only person, nurses, my mom, anybody else, who could put lotion on him and like it wouldn't cause him pain. So it was a really profound experience around positive touch.
Mm.
And then, life moves on. And I graduated college and just was taking classes and anything. And my roommate at the time was like, hey, why don't you take a massage class? Of course, she knew she would be the guinea pig, right? She's not stupid. But I was like, sure, that sounds fun. So I found this massage class. It was a 10-week class learning how to do, Swedish massage, total basics. And oh my God, it was like, when the universe throws a brick at your head to tell you something, that's what it felt like. It felt like an absolute, like I knew that this was what I was supposed to do. I feel very blessed that I got such a clear understanding that this is where I needed to go. So that's how I wound up in massage school.
And for you guys that don't know, Moira specialized in abdominal massage. And yes, we've done an apprenticeship program together. We've constructed it, and it is a earth honoring program. And you will make an earth honoring altar. So think of it like a meditation cloth or a medicine cloth. And we'll talk about that later. But we've done that. We've done retreats together. You've done all this training in energy work. You do breath work, which is phenomenal, guys. If you haven't done breath work, it's fascinating. It can create such a shift in your body and in the experience. And you have studied with some amazing people, really amazing people. Why ab massage? Why did you go that route?
Because I taught, as you know, I taught massage, did a little bit of teaching with Elias or to whatever. But in teaching massage, the thing that I loved about the abdomen was that it was the one place that we were not so focused on muscles. Not that we were really working organs, we were working the muscles, but it was the one place where we really focused our attention on teaching about mindfulness and about like the emotional aspect of the body. And I know I had my own experience in massage school, having somebody go into my belly and bursting out into tears. That was just my experience. It was a demo for my teacher. So, right, the entire class, I'm laying on the massage table. My entire class is standing around me and she's got her hands in my belly. And I just started bawling. And I had no idea why. It scared the hell out of me. And she was so calm. Winnie Nimrod, God bless her. I love her so much. Yes. She's like, so there's some stuck energy in here. Are you okay if I take it out while we're in here? And I'm like, yes. It was really ridiculous. But having that experience taught me that there is so much more in the belly than just muscles. And so then teaching about it, I loved teaching about how to be mindful in that area, that it's a really sacred space. It's a place that's very intimate, right? And a lot of massage therapists feel really kind of uncomfortable touching the belly because it feels intimate, right? And that's not something that a lot of people like to do, but
And the stomach is never I mean, it's usually not touched. Like,
right,
we'll pat each other on the back, but we never go, "Great job, you did so good today," right?
totally.
No,
Totally.
and Linda says, "This is great. I have Crohn's disease."
There's a lot of stuff that gets stuffed down in the belly, right? Because kind of in our topic, right? The
Right,
gut and the seat of our emotions. So as we eat food and our food gets processed and digest, it's the exact same thing with life, right? We ingest life, we ingest energy, we ingest the experiences we have, and it literally processes through our digestive system, much like our food does. So the belly is fascinating to me because it's, there's organs there and the organs hold emotions and we process emotions in that space. And it's been a real honor and blessing to be able to be in that space with people, right? Because imagine receiving work in your belly, you have to really trust whoever is touching you.
right.
And that's something I never take for granted. But yeah, so I don't know if I answered your question.
No, you did, and you do want you guys, and I've received massage from Moira, so you do amazing work, and you are now shifting because we're talking about the gut is the seat of the emotion. You're shifting from this pure physical piece of really looking at the stomach and the gut and the body as a whole about how we hold and process things and hold on to it in this energetic way that can shift through remote a remote session. It can shift in in what we would say, guys, in this work is holding space. And Moira holds space. I had a session with Moira, and this session was phenomenal. She knew that I had hip issues and my TFL, my tension fascial lata side of the leg muscle, we'll say, was really sore. So she put on some music. She worked energetically with we'll just say energy medicine, different stones and crystals and
Mhm.
objects that we've learned in our apprenticeship program about how to use that stuff, the intention behind it. I have to tell you, for at least a whole day, my hip and side were not hurting. I just listened to this music and Moira showed me, I gave her feedback of what I did, and she said, "Look how this moved, and look how I created a crystal grid, creating a movement for you." And I'm like, "Wow, this shifted. This it works, guys. It's because, first of all, Moira knows me. I know her. I
Mhm.
trust her, and that's huge about surrendering. And I think as we talk about abdominal stuff, it is about surrendering and going into the places that are, and when I say dark, I don't mean negative. I mean dark that are deep within, and you bring them into the light. You expose, this is what you're hiding. This is that anguish. This is that grief. This is the fear. This is that not feeling good enough. This is the not being flexible
Hmm.
in a situation that you shoved down and it got stuck in your gut. I was telling a story the other day on TikTok um, that they thought I had um, diverticulosis, and I didn't. My ex of 12 years said something. Well, your mom's been dead for 3 months now. You need to move on. I held on to that like really in my gut. And when the doctor said, it's like you have a popcorn kernel stuck there and it just sticks and it's irritating. And in that moment, I'm like, what's stuck that's irritating me? I'm like, oh, what my ex said. I'm going to let that go. Do you know that I have no problems whatsoever no diverticulosis. I can eat popcorn. I can have seeds. It's and I was in the hospital for 3 days. And ever since then, nothing. Sarah says in China, we soothe the kids in kindergarten at night time by patting their tummies. I love that. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Nancy says, I never learned any belly work in massage therapy school. My class was 7 months. Fascinating. Yeah. Chicago School of Massage, we taught it and we got in there. Trust me.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
whole day of ab stuff. I'm like, and after an hour of somebody working on your stomach, like, yeah, I'm off the table. Thanks. Done. Chris says, I have Crohn's as well, diagnosed in 93, had 6 major
Oh,
surgeries for blockage. Stress is a major trigger.
yep.
Okay. How do you find someone safe to go for this?
Mm, that's a good question, and that's a really personal thing. You wanna make sure that somebody has the proper training.
Mhm.
I mean, there are people who are trained in, like, pregnancy massage, so they're used to working in the belly, but you wanna work with somebody who's got some training in visceral massage, maybe Mayan abdominal massage, Thai abdominal massage, those are what I'm trained in. But it really comes, right? Trust. Trust is all about who you resonate with, who you feel comfortable with. So I would suggest maybe before you get your belly touched, maybe having a conversation with somebody or getting, like, if they're a regular massage therapist, getting a regular massage from them first, especially if you have a trauma history. Definitely go and check out their touch first. Check out how you feel with them, your energy relationship with them. And if you feel that sense of trust, then be like, hey, okay, great. Let's go ahead and go for this. I'd like to work on some abdominal stuff. But there's very, very few therapists who focus on abdominal stuff. And if they do focus on it, they're usually pretty good. But there is this sense, um, you know, there are two ways of approaching, right? There's a very medical model, like PTs, can do their thing, and they're very, very good. They're very, very precise. And if it is more of an emotional aspect you're working with, PTs and nurses, they tend to have that kind of medical touch that's not
Yeah.
so gentle, might not be gentle. So I would say yeah, talk to them. Yeah.
And that's important because, guys, think about it. What we taught in massage school was your body holds on to those emotions,
Yeah.
your cells hold the memory. Michelle's trying to be cute and funny. She's like, oh, Lord, I have plenty of space in my stomach to hide emotions.
We all do. There are so many nooks and crannies in our belly to hide things. And here's the thing about abdominal stuff is I know we're kind of really focusing on belly and that physical abdomen. But the one thing what I've really learned of working with the belly for 15 years now is there is a very physical aspect to it, but there is the emotional aspect to it that both of those things affect the energy of your belly, right? So the foods you eat, how you eat the foods you eat, right? But also the emotions that you might be repressing, right? It all shows up in your belly in this very energetic way. And for me, the verbiage I use is it shows up, at least as I work with it, I feel it as contractions and expansions, right? When we have things that we have experienced that are not such good experiences, right? And we ingest those experiences, they go through our digestive system in a contractile, protective way, not in a very smooth way, right? And as it makes its way down, it might store a little in your liver, it might store a little in your pancreas, maybe there'll be a little ball over here in your small intestine, right? Like it depends on the person, but it's a very much of an energetic frequency that these emotions get stored at in our belly. And our food and the way we process our food can definitely be helpful in moving that. Like if you do a really good food cleanse,
Mhm.
or a fasting, right? That can help you move if anybody's ever done like a 5-day fast, you definitely move your emotions. Like it's right. So it's not just a one-way clear-cut thing. It's very, very involved. But I what I've found is that in working this energetic layer, working the energy and the contraction of those emotions, that's the part that has left me that's the part that's helped me transition into being able to do remote work, right? Because then working the energy from a distant place, I'm still able to affect the physiology of it, right? And the energy of it, because, right, there is no time and space if you do any kind of quantum physics kind of stuff, right? There is no time and space. It's all now, it's all in the present moment. So I love being able to help people how to work with their own systems, either from an external perspective, having an outside person coming to help, because sometimes we need that support. But also there's that experience of being able to tune into your own belly and your own gut and, bring awareness to what are those stuck places inside of yourself.
And I want to get into that part. So everybody, Joy lives in Iowa. She's like, Chicago, correct? I see a road trip happening. It's only a couple hours. Yep, we know where you live. And he said, never considered an abdominal massage. 20 minutes in, I must have. Every emotion affects my yep, it does. Priscilla says, I think you're close to me. I recently had a thyroidectomy and would love to make a session with you. Awesome. I would suggest remote. Did I hear that? Yes, ma'am. Remote. So if you can tell Moira a little bit about how do you work remotely? What I can tell what happened in my session, but I want them to hear it from you.
So I work two different ways. The way I kind of see it is I work with people in kind of a more passive way and then a more active way. So the passive way is really more of a like full-on energy healing session. It's, I take you into it. We'll do a little bit of talking about what the issue is, take you through a little meditation to get you relaxed. You're like laying on your bed or sitting on your couch or whatever, all cozy. As Elias said, I have music that kind of takes you into a more altered state, right? That theta state where your system is more open to receiving and being influenced and influencing energy. And then I'm doing energy work. I'm working with your physical body, with your energy body. I might be using some crystals or something. Oftentimes, a grid will wind up forming in front of me with, because I kind of work here and out in front of me. I don't know if that makes sense, but a little crystal grid will wind up showing up. So that is kind of more of the passive way. When the session's over, we'll do a little chit chat about, I'll talk about what came up for me. And I always love hearing what came up for you. And in that process of talking about the session and hearing about the session and expressing your own experience of the session helps with, like, the way I think of it is it's like we're going in, and if you have this nice sweater on, but your sweater has all these little knots in it, these little knots in your sweater are all your little emotional contractions, the stress that's causing all these emotional contractions. So what we're doing in this energy session is just allowing that sweater of your energetic body to relax and unwind and let those fibers kind of unweave a little bit. But then in talking with each other, that along with your own process afterwards helps those patterns reweave so that you're really repatterning yourself, right? You're repatterning your own imprint. So that's how it's done passively. Actively, the way we can work with it would be more of like an energy coaching, if you will, where we're talking about what's showing up in your body, what's showing up for you out in the world. What does that mean from a larger energetic scale, rather than kind of talking about the drama of the details, but like, what is the bigger picture of this? How is this affecting you energetically? And if there are places that is showing up inside of your system, then I guide you into going into your own body, right? So you're working somatically. So it might look like, okay, well, I have a knot in my stomach because I'm really stressed and anxious about blah, blah, blah. So then we have you bring your awareness and your perception into your belly. While you're bringing your awareness and your perception into your belly and you're following, right? This is a teaching of how to follow the energy in your body. On my end, I'm doing energy work to help that energy unwind, unknot, move a little bit. And then hopefully there's, oftentimes we might wind up doing some like soul retrieval work, or, you might do some uncording of something. So it's kind of different for everybody. Some people like being more active in their process, and some people just want to lay back and receive because that's what their soul needs. So those are two kind of different ways that I work with people.
And you can feel it, guys, when you're happening. Like when Moira's talking about the little knots and the knots, and I'm looking at her sweater and I'm like, well, there's one roll that I have, and she's got the other roll. So people are working on the rots, and I'm like, okay, there's my rolls. No, look now, look, Moira. Here's roll number 1 and roll number 2. So, okay, Pamela's like, Moira, you're about to get lots of new clients.
Oh,
Well, I'm so interested in this. I love it. So think about it, guys. If you understand that our emotions are trapped in our souls, and what Moira is doing in her work is she's going in there, pulling it out energetically, you might have a release. You might cry. You might say, ow, I didn't notice that pain was there. You can have so many different aha moments in this short session. Hi, Ronnie. Interesting. I didn't know that it's recommended to rub your belly when meditation, but I'm always instinctively rubbing my belly.
Good instinct.
Right. And think about it, guys. Those of you that have had kids, we do something in massage school that, Moira and I taught. And it is when we rub our stomach, there's a wave-like motion that happens. It's called peristalsis. And peristalsis is that wave-like motion that helps push food out. Think about what happens if you were to do this or something like this, and you had an emotional release, not just but I mean an emotional release. Emotional.
Leave it to Elias.
Had to. Joy's like, can you make me skinny?
I wish. Oh, I'd be freaking rich.
Yes.
No.
See.
Not a thing.
But I think what we're learning in today's age, we're learning to connect that emotional, physical, and mental piece really truly together and say, hey, yes, it's I feel, and I know that you're going to agree, but I'm just going to say it. I feel that, because I don't want to say we feel, I feel that the physical place is the last place where it goes. It starts off with the mental piece, which then goes emotionally and then gets trapped in the physical. Would you agree?
Except I think emotions come first. Emotions are primal. They're instinctive. That is the first thing that happens when you have an experience, especially a joyful experience or a shocking experience, that are on the extreme. It is an emotional, energetic experience first. And then it goes up to the brain to process, right? And you shift into joy and expansion. Do you shift into fight, flight, freeze? Because if it's a big enough experience that it turns into fight, flight, freeze, you're not thinking about it. It is automatic. You are running, you are fighting, you are dropping to the ground, freezing, or fawning. That's the other experience of it, right? So there's lots of different layers, right? And how it hits your nervous system. Right? It hits the nervous system way before there's a cognitive thing that's happening. But the physical is definitely where it winds up. Like it's like it hits that emotional level, the energetic level. It hits your nervous system, and then it's like like when you toss a stone into a river, ripples out, right? There's like these ripples, and it like ripples into your brain, it ripples into your physical body, right? And the problem, the place where we get caught is when that experience, right? When we experience something joyful, joy has this expansive feeling, right? So that energy just moves through us. Like you don't have to think about it. But when we have an experience that's more challenging, right? There's a contraction around it. And that is where it comes in. And especially when we experience something traumatic, that contraction happens because it's just too much, right? Trauma is something that happens to, it's not about the thing that's happening, it's about your body's experience of that thing being too much. And so you go into overload. And when you go into overload, your body has to tuck those things in other places. So it's not a conscious thing. It's not like you're saying, I don't want to feel this grief. This is like sometimes that's it, but a lot of times it's because you're having an experience that's just too much for your system to handle. So, as a coping mechanism, it's a really beautiful, it's not a bad thing. It's a really good functional thing. We take those emotions, the overload of it, and stick it in different places. Right. It can get stuck in our physical body, it can get stuck in our organs, the pancreas and the spleen are two organs that they're like our shock absorbers, right? They're and think about it, pancreas and spleen and gallbladder, right? Those are where our bile is produced. The enzymes that help us break down our food are stored in those. So that's also the place that helps us break down our experiences. But if we can't break it down, then they kind of get trapped in those organs, right?
Michelle says it was my thyroid. Emmy says I was let go from a job of 32 years. Next day, my colon twisted, needed surgery. Yeah,
Right?
crazy. And guys, being Greek and all of you that are overthinkers, remember, yes, emotion first, but you overthinkers and us Greek people like, wait, what does this mean? No, I'm just kidding. All right. Hi, Diane. Good to see you. Shane says it's freeing the emotions freely throughout the body instead of being stuck in the gut. Yes, very
Got
true. Joy says she has a hemangioma. Did I say that right? In my belly.
Meningioma in her belly. I would have to do some research. I don't know what that is.
And that is I'm looking for, where is it? Okay. Yep. Excellent. Okay. Hang on. Yeah. I've seen people when trouble look as if they have shrunk with contraction. Yes. Oh my God, Jamie, what are you doing here, Jamie? Good to see you, my friend. So you
Hi,
remember Jamie, right?
Jeannie. Yes, I do.
Tatiana, good to see you. Thank you. Overthinkers, who, me? Many of us here tonight. Yes. And by the way, y'all, power to the Geminis of you, all the air signs that are overthinkers. Just saying. Just saying. I tease them on TikTok with that. So if we create a safe place to unload or reprogram our emotions to unwind, as you said, that's going to help us start healing from the inside out.
Yes.
And if we do the work, everybody, that's why we wanted to bring this, because this is all about appreciation. Your gut is holding your, I'm scared, I'm concerned, I'm frustrated, I'm angry. Angry is a really good emotion.
Liver.
All that, yeah. Joyce says it's twisted veins and arteries all baffled up around my organs, primarily liver.
Ooh. So here's the cool thing about the body and energy, and this is something you can kind of play with a little bit. And this is how I approach everything, is if you do a little research into the physical thing that is going on inside of your body, right? So let's I'll do a quick like digestive example, right? So the mouth, right? Your food goes in your mouth, right? But this is where we take in our experiences, right? And you're chewing it up, you're breaking apart the experience you're having, i.e. the food you're having, into smaller bits. It's a very conscious place, right? You get to choose, I'm going to swallow this experience, I'm going to take this in, or I don't like it. This chicken tastes bad, I'm spitting it out, right? Like this is the place where you consciously choose how you're going to take it in and where you begin to break it down, right? So you choose to, okay, I'm ingesting this reality, and now it is no longer a conscious thing, right? So now it's going down through your esophagus, down through your throat, through this place of expression, right? But it's just moving down. There's also some like lung stuff involved in here. It's moving down, going into your stomach, right? Your stomach is the place that does that further breakdown. It's digesting. It's all the enzymes, all the bitter juices from your gallbladder, liver, pancreas, spleen, right? All those things are helping to bring nutrients and beneficial things to help break down that food even more. So, right, the stomach is about how are you allowing experiences to continue to digest? Maybe you have acid reflux, right? Like, is there something about your experience that you're not digesting, right? Is it like you can't stomach it, right? So it's coming up, right? There's a reverse energy in that. So the stomach is continuing to break it down, right? The liver, all those other organs are helping to aid in that breaking down. And then it goes down through the duodenum, which the duodenum is kind of that first part of your small intestine, not really part of your small intestine, but first part after the stomach. And that helps kind of move it along, but it's a place where emotions specifically can get extra stuck. And then you go into the small intestine, and the small intestine is the place where food in its breakdown form, nutrients are then absorbed into the body, right? The blood then soaks up those nutrients. So it becomes the first place where now we're starting to separate. This is the good stuff for my body. This is the bad stuff for my body. So the bad stuff for my body is going to continue on to the large intestine, and the small intestine is going to absorb and take in all the good things about your food. So, right, like if something's wrong with your small intestine, then how are you absorbing and assimilating your experiences, right? Do you maybe have a hard time breaking things down? Do you have a hard time being able to decipher, like, this is nourishing to me, this is beneficial to me, and this is bad, and I can let this go, right? And then it continues to move through the small intestine, and the large intestine is that final place of absorbing and extracting all the water, the emotional bits, the last emotional bits out of, sorry, my cat is one.
You're fine. She's cute.
And it's the place of letting go of the toxins, all the stuff that you don't need anymore. But right, a lot of times when we have a hard time deciphering between what's good and what's bad, things kind of get stuck. And maybe, right, if you're constipated, there's this aspect of yourself kind of not quite wanting to let it go because you're not quite sure, is this really toxic to me? Is this really something I want to let go of? Or maybe you're having diarrhea and it's like, oh, hell no, I'm not dealing with this. I'm just let it go. But it's not in a good way because, right, with diarrhea, you're letting all the good stuff go too.
Right.
So what I mean to say is anything that's going on in your system, it's really cool to be able to read about and research what's going on physiologically and just take that and translate into how am I processing that, the experience of, excuse me, the experiences of my life in that same way. And that will give you a ton of information about your system, your body, and how you're moving your stuff, right? And how you're moving through life.
We have a lot of good questions.
Okay.
And the thing that's, so if in your work, if you find that someone only poops like once a week,
Oof.
they're holding on to so much stuff.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
not just poop people, but I mean the emotional stuff. Hey, psychic medium Lee Walsky, go visit my friend Lee, you guys. He's such a good person. Nancy says that she has vascular
Mm.
Ehlers. Yes, yes, yes. With a blockage in the lower aorta to femoral artery. Yeah.
Mhm.
And here's Moira's Facebook page. Thanks, Priscilla. Pat Johnson says, Moira, do you team with anyone that does emotional code work, identifying, releasing trapped emotions?
I do emotion code and body code stuff. If that's a need want, I'm not certified, but I definitely do work with that too.
Pamela says, do you believe that we need to have an awareness of what needs to be let go in order for your work to show benefit?
That is a great question. I think it's helpful, and I think you do not need to know exactly what goes on. And I'm a firm believer that whatever your mind needs to know about, it will eventually get. And sometimes that happens in a session. You'll get a aha in a session. Sometimes that shows up in the like debrief process afterwards, right? I share my experience and what came through for me, and then you talk about your experience, and that helps kind of weave this informative story about what is showing up. So sometimes it shows there. And often, a lot of times, people walk away, and over the next month or week, something shifts in their life that all of a sudden they're like, oh, and they see the connections. So it's, again, I'm a believer that simplicity is great and nothing simple.
So true. Linda said, with Crohn's, I wound up with an ileostomy since I was 23. So did my cousin. My cousin, she's a dance movement therapist. So figure that out, and she's done so much work with Crohn's people.
And Crohn's, I think there's, in my work with people who have Crohn's, I think there's an ancestral piece in that, right? If you look at illnesses that you have, if you have Crohn's, you probably have somebody else in your family who has Crohn's, right? Then that means there's probably an energetic ancestral lineage piece that needs to be worked, because it's right. I mean, our stuff is our stuff, but it's also not just our stuff, right? There's epigenetics, there's our whole lineage behind us that impacts how this all shows up.
And those of you that are coming on the retreat, we are going to do a body map with the ancestral piece. Moira, you remember the body map that we did.
Yeah.
The body map that really is going to help let go of some of those old patterns that you have the blueprint from your parents, your grandparents, etc. Now, 2 books to recommend. Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life, great book. And then also The Secret Language of Your Body by Ina Segal, and 2 great books. Let's go with a couple more questions, but I want to tell you guys, Moira's doing 2 specials. 1, she's going to be giving away a session, and 2, for anybody that books this week, anybody that books, I mean, they don't have to book with you, but they have to sign up for you this week. You're going to give a certain amount off. Is that correct?
Yes, $25 off of anybody who books a remote session. You just need to say that this is how you heard about me.
You heard about my life, guys. Just email her. Where should they email you at?
You can email me at ms@moirascullion.com.
Okay. Simple, easy. Her initials, MS, and Moira Scullion, her name.com. Now, there's a place that they could just go to your website and then it takes you to how to contact you, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Okay, so questions that you guys have for Moira. These have been really great questions. Anybody has anything that oh, Vicky, I didn't see this. Vicky says I was diagnosed with celiac vomiting syndrome, would have bad episodes of vomiting uncontrollably lasting almost 10 years. Oh my God, it was all due to stress. God bless you, Vicky. Wow.
Whew.
Wow. Thanks, Priscilla. Here it is. MS. So, Miss, at moirascullion.com. Okay. I forgot your cat's name because I know you had a couple.
This is Ella.
Ella. She's so cute.
My
She's
little muffin. She just wants to
cute.
hang out with you all.
Just started reading that one. Awesome, Rhonda. Hi, Lily. God
There's
bless
somebody
you.
mentioned emotion code. There is a book. It's a really interesting, simple way to work with your emotions. So just look up the emotion code by Dr. Bradley Nelson. And it's a way to be able to do muscle testing and working with a magnet to help just release emotions. It's a very different way of doing energy releasing, but easy to do for yourself. Fun to play with.
The Emotion Code by Dr. Bradley Nelson.
Yes.
There you go, guys. Okay. Anyone else? Questions, comments, concerns? The Body Keeps the Score is a great book. Oh, okay.
Yes.
That.
Yes, that if you have any kind of trauma with your body, that's a beautiful one. There's a whole bunch of, right, because trauma gets stuck in our body. There's so many beautiful books on somatic therapy, which is tuning into the body and helping those energies move. So that's kind of one of the big standards. The Body Keeps the Score by Vessel van der Kolk, I believe is what his name is.
Gina says, I have ulcerative colitis. I had surgery and now I only have a small intestine.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie says you're in Chicago, right? But Jamie, she can do remote work. She could do
Yes.
remote work from all over the world.
Yes.
All over the world. Most people don't know they have trauma. This is very true.
Yeah.
Cindy wants to know, what is that book called again? Which one, Cindy? The Body Keeps the Score is a great book. The Emotion Code by Dr. Bradley Nelson. You've got You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. And you have The Secret Language of Your Body. There you go. Don't Let It Cry. Tears are a byproduct of transformation. Tatala. So good. Oh, I remember you said you were going to muscle test me in Virginia. Yes, I was. I was going to. And we're going to do that. Yes. No, but I mean, there's for a spray that she wants.
Oh, okay.
Do you also do in-person work?
I do. I have an office if you're familiar with Chicago at all, it's on the north side in
She's in Ravenswood. Very close.
Very close to Ravenswood.
Yeah. Nina, do you know where
Lady Gregory.
Lady Gregory is? Yeah. And better yet, Nita's gonna know this. Do you know where George's ice cream is? She's right around the corner.
Which sadly closed.
What?
George's closed, yes. But there's a new ice cream shop that just moved in that's supposed to be super fancy.
But they have the Snap-a-Lantern where it was pumpkin ice cream with ginger snaps in it.
Oh.
I know. Okay. Let's see. Cindy says thank you. Hopeful tears. Yes. Okay. Where in Chicago approximately? No, Moira is not close to you. You're Priscilla lives, Moira, where Pete used to live. So she's on the southwest side. She's in Chicago Ridge. So all you got to do is go down 55 and go up Lakeshore Drive and you're good. I love talking about. Thank God I know those. I can't tell you where I'm going around here. No clue. No clue, by the way. Okay. Dale says, I've had stomach issues since I was a child, and it worsened as I reached my teens. I'll be 60 this summer. Is it too late to reverse the damage problem and the damage done?
Oh, I'm a huge believer in it is never too late to do healing work. Doesn't mean that it will get rid of whatever is going on. It is never a guarantee because we're complex beings, right?
Right.
There's a energetic component, there's an ancestral component, and there's just this genetic thing. And there's if anybody's ever looked into Dr. Joe Dispenza,
Mm-hmm.
right? He does a lot of good work and he's really focused on doing meditation, being really, really diligent. And he is a firm believer that you can change anything in your body. So, it can happen. Our body is made to heal, right? We cut ourselves and it has this beautiful internal mechanism to heal itself. So we can absolutely do that, even at 60.
And here's the beautiful piece about that is that, pardon me, is that we can, like Moira said, anytime. And what I for Dale, for you, not joking about this, but do you want to? Do you want to heal? And a really good movie is the movie Heal. Get that on Netflix. That's going to tell you a lot. I would recommend that for everybody. Nita, don't go anywhere. Heal. It's really good. Now, you asked for the oh, hang on. It's The Body Keeps the Score.
There we go. Thank you.
By Bessel van der Kolk.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
But I liked how you thought of it. You did this. Bessel van. That's how you have to ask for it, guys.
Just squeezing it out of my brain.
Out of your brain. Right. Linda says this. Guys, don't leave anywhere. Don't leave anywhere. Oh, you're welcome, Linda Marie. Thank you. You're welcome. My 12-year-old son only goes number 2 every 7 to 10 days apart. What do you do?
So teach him how to rub his belly. You do it for him. And give the thing about emotions is they need expression, right? Every kid needs an opportunity to express their emotion. All the parts of ourselves that get stuck into corners, you need to cultivate a practice of allowing yourself expression. I'm really big on using some artistic form to allow expression. That can be art, dancing. I'm big on journaling. And when I do my journaling, right, like if I'm feeling emotional about something, I would try and keep this really quick. Journaling, if you can allow that emotion to journal, kind of like you're allowing that to do a journaling, but at the same time, there is like a higher part of you that is witnessing this expression, right? That is really healing. So you're having the expression from the contracted part, but you're also having a witness from your higher self. And those two components, that is what creates healing. So if you can do that for yourself, beautiful. And then sometimes you need somebody else to witness it to help that energy move, but whatever works.
So true. Now, you guys, again, if you book, so if you say, hey, Moira, I want to book a session with you, before this time next week, she's going to give you $25 off the remote session. If you want it, if you're in Chicago or you're planning on Joy taking a trip and packing your suitcase and staying with Nita at the Airbnb, or you can go ahead and email her for that. Now, what we're going to do, guys, is there were 60 of you in here. I want you to pick a number. Not yet. I want you to pick a number 1 through 70. 1 through 70. And one person, when I say go, one person will win a free session with Moira. Okay. Ready, set, go. And only one guess. Thank
One
you.
guess.
One guess. Okay. Here we go.
I told him the number at the very, very beginning, so we already have this number.
Yes. You're looking at it, right? You're looking at it like I'm looking at it.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I found it. Did you find it?
Not yet. The first number that I gave you.
Right. The first number.
Okay. As long as you're writing it down. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. I got it. So here we go. Ready? Bump, bump, bada, bump, bump, bada, bump, bump. We got this. We got 55. We got a 9. We got a 47. We got a 66. We got a 37. We got a 63. We got a 24. We got a 47. We got a 12. We got a 54. We got 117. You're so good, Delora. We got a 43. We got a 3. We got a 63. We got a 44. We got Pamela. Okay. To write your name instead of I. Yep. Awesome. 66. And ding, 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 ding. Winner. Number 39. Laura, you won a free session with Moira. So
yay! Hey,
Moira,
Laura.
go to ms@moirascullion.com, or you could just click on her website and contact her that way. You and the other thing I didn't mention is, guys, Moira and I are talking. We're in the process. If you guys want to do, we're doing 5-week or 6 or 4-week, 5-week, right? 1 intro week and 5.
4 or 5.
4 or 5. We're either going to do a 4 or 5 weekend in apprenticeship program in Earth Honoring Altar, ALTAR, an altar. So making a medicine cloth, and it's going to look something like, pardon the mess. It's going to look something like that, where you will learn about what each of the elements mean and how that works within our body, within our emotion, how you can use that kind of process to help, physical, emotional, spiritual, mental, water, earth, fire, air, and many of the traditions, we'll leave it that way, many of the traditions use these type of teachings. This would be our 3rd apprenticeship program that we've done. Mm-hmm. And once you have done an apprenticeship program, guys, then you move toward to assisting on retreats to continue the work, so you understand that it is this beautiful giving and receiving piece. If you're interested in that, it wouldn't start till next year.
Yeah.
And it would be 4 or 5 weekends. We have to decide if we're doing it. We don't know where yet. It could be in multiple places, or it could be at one place. It might be one time in the Midwest and one time up here, one time maybe on the East Coast. Not sure yet. Joy's hysterical. I'm packed. Already packed. But it would be 4 weekends, and we keep it. It's a smaller group. So we're going to do, I don't think we're going to do more than 16. Yeah. So it's a small group.
And it's a beautiful way to do your own personal work while diving into a beautiful, sacred, spiritual place where you learn to be with nature, be in community, be in relationship to earth, community, to yourself. So it's just a great way to grow your own being.
And we have, we've done this before, you guys.
You attend all 4 weekends.
Yeah, and you can't just go, I'll go with that one, but I won't go that one. Nope, you gotta. It's a commitment. It's a commitment.
They build upon each other.
4 weekends traveling, yeah, and it's not like 4 weekends in a row, guys. It's like 3 months,
2 months, or 3 months,
2 or 3 months, right? So, oh, look at that. Moira is beautiful. She is. Inside and out, guys. Inside and out. So if you're interested, go to info@eliaspatras.com and just say, Elias, I'm interested in the 1-year apprenticeship program. Interested in the 1-year apprenticeship program. And we haven't decided where. We're but we're going to
In
start.
the beginning talks.
Yeah, we're in the beginning talks, but we definitely want to do this again. And you know what? I wouldn't think of anybody else to do this with but you. So, and it's how much that all depends on where we go. Prices are going up for retreat centers, but it would be including the food, the lodging, and the apprenticeship program. It would be per weekend. We would probably figure out that you could pay. We've done it before where you would pay within 10 months, 10 months or 9 months.
It will depend within the apprenticeship period, however long that is.
Right. You have to pay before you go to the last one. So you could do a monthly payment.
Yeah.
You could do it that way. I'm just going to tell you around. We'll give you an around amount. It is going to be approximately 900 and something per weekend. Okay. And there's a lot of stuff that goes on. There's a lot of stuff that's happening. So if it's something that you're interested in, think about it. You can do the payment, in installments. We're going to have an info session on it. Okay.
We'll talk later.
Yeah. But please, book your session, your remote session with Moira. I'm telling you, I feel better. That work lasted, a really good day. And then I'm like, I should book another one because I mean, it was really good. It was
You
really,
also
really
got to
good.
do some stretching to go along with it.
To that one. All right. You'll come back. Yes, I'd love to have you come back. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you all enjoyed. It was really phenomenal. It was really phenomenal. All the information that you have. Guys, Moira puts her heart into her work. And she is just a great, not only practitioner, but a great person. Denise said it was fantastic. Thank you, Mandy. And Mandy, we should talk about stuff. Thank you for being here. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you both. Thank you. All right, guys, as always, we are here to connect.
Everybody.
And when you connect, you educate. And when we educate, we grow. Yes, go ahead.
And I just want to say, take a moment every single day to listen to how your body is communicating with you. If you have a pain is your body's way of trying to communicate. So just take a moment, take a breath, and just check in with your body and see if it needs to tell you something.
So true. Remember, guys, there's unity in community. From our hearts to yours. Thanks, everybody. Hold the wire, Moira.
Okay.
And we'll talk to you guys soon. Remember, tomorrow, TikTok, 7:30 in the morning, guided meditation, group chat, and it's Super Sassy Psychic Sunday. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.